You can tell on the screen we are on lesson number 13. You can probably tell that by your handout as well. Lesson 13 is titled The Myth, and it's based on Principle 4 in Step 5. And Step 5 is this. Step 5 is we admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. So, what we're going to look at tonight is what happens when you tell another person your deepest, darkest secret. Okay? And some of you are probably here tonight going, why do we have to admit to another person anyway? Right? Hopefully I'll answer that question for you tonight. See, many of us keep secrets almost all our lives, you know? And those secrets can take a toll on us, like a daily toll. And that toll we pay is loss of self-respect, loss of energy, and bondage to our old codependent habits. So, but when we admit them out loud, when we admit those secrets out loud, they begin to lose their power. And, you know, they lose their hold on us that they have when they're spoken out loud. But still, a lot of us, we still don't want to do this. You know, we still do not want to reveal our secrets to another person. And somehow we feel like there's everything to lose and nothing to gain. But that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the things that we lose and the things that we gain by doing Step 5. And the first one, it's on your handout, it's up here on the screen. We lose our sense of isolation. So, when we start Step 5, we have somebody that comes alongside of us, that's a sponsor or accountability partner. And just by doing that alone, you begin to start to lose the sense of isolation. And as long as, you know, when we continue through Step 5, what we find is that the sense of loneliness starts to vanish. The next one on your handout is we begin to lose our unwillingness to forgive. Our unwillingness to forgive. When people accept and forgive us, we start to see that we can forgive other people. And I remember for me, in my own personal story, doing the Step 5 for the first time in my life, I was so bitter with these people from my past. You know the people, right? The people that really screwed you over. I mean, I had a long list of all these people who screwed me over. And by working this step, by working Step 5, I soon began to see the light. I started to realize that, you know, that all this bitterness that was in my head, all this anger toward these people, was my own doing. It was created in my own head. And when I was able to let that go, it was like this huge relief. So it's like all this weight just came off my shoulders. I was spending so much time and energy being pissed off at people. You know, for things that I created in my own head. The next thing we lose, that's on your handout, is we lose our inflated false pride. As we see and accept who we are, we begin to find true humility, which involves seeing ourselves as who we really are and seeing God for who He really is. And I built up all this false pride too, and really due to all that bitterness and anger that I had toward other people, I built up this false pride. You know, and after I did Step 5, after I did this, I truly started to accept others. And, you know, that continued to grow. And even grew more when I did Step 9. The last thing we lose is our sense of denial. Being truthful with another person starts to tear down the walls of denial. We begin to feel clean and honest. And for me, what I needed to become clean and honest about was blaming other people. You know, I blamed my alcoholic stepfather, and I blamed my mother for not leaving my alcoholic stepfather. And I blamed the guy who introduced me to cocaine. You know, I was blaming all these people for my own actions. Another thing I needed to become clean and honest about was the damage that I was creating in my life. You know, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that were blown, the broken relationship with family and friends. You know, and there's a lot of good people. And I got a lot of those people back in my life now, but some of them aren't. And I can't blame them for that. I really can't. You know, all the times I try to control situations. If you've ever heard my testimony, you know my story is a bit of a roller coaster ride. There was good times and there was bad times, you know. Even in the good times, I never, ever got to my truth. I never got to my truth. I never got to the root of the problem. And by working this step 5, that's what this step 5 does. That's what it did for me. I truly got to the root of my problems.